Here's something no one wants to admit. Sometimes pain feels safer than happiness. Sometimes failure feels more familiar than success. And sometimes, without even realizing it, you choose the thing that hurts. Not because you want to suffer, but because suffering is the only thing you know how to survive. This is the hidden logic of self-sabotage. And once you understand it, everything changes.
You've watched yourself do it. You've had the relationship that was finally healthy, and you picked a fight that didn't need to happen. You've had the opportunity that could have changed everything, and you missed the deadline, forgot to show up, talked yourself out of it. You've had moments where things were actually going well, genuinely, quietly well, and something inside you felt wrong, suspicious, like you were waiting for the other shoe to drop. So you dropped it yourself.
And afterward, in the wreckage, you ask the same question you always ask. Why do I keep doing this? What's wrong with me? But here's what no one tells you. There's nothing wrong with you. Your brain is doing exactly what it was trained to do. The problem isn't that you're broken. The problem is that you're running software that was written a long time ago by a version of you who needed very different things to survive. Let's go deeper.
When you were young, your brain had one job: figure out what's safe. Not what's good, not what's healthy, not what leads to happiness, just what's safe. And safety, to a child's brain, means predictable. It means knowing what comes next. It means understanding the rules of the environment, even if those rules are painful. So, if you grew up in chaos, chaos became your normal. If you grew up being criticized, criticism became the voice you expected to hear. If love came with conditions, if it had to be earned, if it could be taken away, then your brain learned that love is not something you rest in. It's something you work for, something you're always one mistake away from losing. And here's the part that changes everything. Your nervous system doesn't distinguish between familiar and good. It only knows familiar and unfamiliar. And unfamiliar, to your brain, means danger. So when something good happens, something stable, something kind, something you didn't have to earn, your brain doesn't celebrate, it panics. Because this isn't what it knows. This isn't the pattern it was trained to recognize. And in that moment of panic, it reaches for the only tool it has: destroy the unfamiliar thing before it destroys you. That's self-sabotage. It's not weakness. It's not a character flaw. It's a survival mechanism that's outlived its usefulness. Think about what this actually means. Every time you've pushed someone away who was good to you, your brain was trying to protect you from the pain of losing them later. Every time you've tanked an opportunity right before it could change your life, your brain was trying to keep you in territory it knew how to navigate. Every time you've chosen the chaos over the calm, your brain was simply going home. Because home, for many of us, wasn't peace. It was vigilance. It was walking on eggshells. It was learning to read the room before you could read a book. And when that's your foundation, peace doesn't feel like relief. It feels like the silence before the storm. So you create the storm yourself. At least then you're in control. But there's another layer to this, one that goes even deeper than the nervous system. And it has to do with what you believe you deserve. Somewhere along the way, many of us internalized a message, a quiet, poisonous belief that we weren't worthy of good things. Maybe it was spoken out loud. Maybe it was never said but always felt. Maybe it was in the way you were looked at or the way you weren't looked at, the way your emotions were dismissed, the way your needs were treated like burdens. And when a child receives that message enough times, something shifts inside them. They don't just feel unloved, they start to believe they're unlovable. They don't just feel like they failed, they start to believe they are the failure. This belief doesn't announce itself. It doesn't show up in your conscious thoughts. It operates underneath, in the basement of your psyche, pulling strings you can't see. And it whispers things like, "This won't last.
You don't belong here. They're going to find out who you really are. So when good things happen, they feel like mistakes, like you've somehow slipped through the cracks, like you're living someone else's life, and eventually the universe will correct the error. Self-sabotage, then, becomes a way of correcting it yourself before you get caught, before you get hurt, before you have to feel the shame of being seen for who you really believe you are. And here's the cruel irony. The sabotage confirms the belief. You destroy the relationship and you say, "See, I knew I couldn't keep it." You miss the opportunity and you say, "See, I knew I'd mess it up." The pattern feeds itself. The prophecy fulfills itself. And every time it happens, the belief gets stronger. But there's one more piece, and it might be the most important one. Self-sabotage isn't just about protection, it's about identity. When you've spent your whole life struggling becomes who you are. The fighter, the survivor, the one who always has it hard but keeps going. And as painful as that identity is, it's familiar. It's yours. You know how to be that person.
But who are you if you're not struggling? Who are you if things are actually okay? If you don't have a crisis to manage, a wound to nurse, a battle to fight? That question is terrifying because it asks you to become someone you've never been, someone you don't have a template for. And your brain, in its desperate need for continuity, would rather keep you suffering in a known identity than let you dissolve into the unknown of healing. This is why people stay stuck even when they know better. This is why insight alone doesn't change behavior. Because the part of you that sabotages isn't stupid, it's scared. It's trying to keep you recognizable to yourself. So, what do you do with all of this? You don't fight it. That's the first thing. You don't shame yourself for sabotaging. You don't white-knuckle your way into different behavior. Because force doesn't work on fear. It only drives it deeper underground. Instead, you turn toward the part of you that's been running the show. You meet it with curiosity instead of contempt. You ask, what are you protecting me from? What do you think will happen if I let this good thing stay? And then you listen, not to fix, not to argue, just to understand.
Because that part of you, the one that learned pain was safe and love was dangerous, it never got the update. It's still living in the house you grew up in. It's still bracing for the criticism, the chaos, the conditional love. And until you show it that things have changed, it will keep doing the only thing it knows how to do. The healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about reparenting the parts of you that got stuck in survival mode. It's about giving them experiences that contradict the old beliefs, not just once, over and over again. It's about staying when you want to run. It's about receiving when everything in you wants to push away. And yes, it will feel wrong at first. The good things will feel suspicious. The peace will feel unsettling. Your nervous system will scream that this isn't safe. But safety isn't the goal anymore. Growth is. And growth always happens outside the familiar. You're not sabotaging because you're broken. You're sabotaging because once, a long time ago, it was the smartest thing you could do. It kept you alive. It kept you sane. It kept you from hoping for things that would only hurt you.
But you're not that child anymore. You're not trapped in that house, that dynamic, that version of love. You have choices now that you didn't have then. And the first choice is this: to see the pattern clearly, without judgment, and to slowly, gently teach yourself that you're allowed to have what you want. That you're allowed to rest in something good without waiting for it to be taken away. That you don't have to earn your right to exist. The comfort of destruction is real, but so is the discomfort of healing. And on the other side of that discomfort is a version of you who no longer needs to burn down everything they build.
You're not starting over. You're just finally learning that you were never the problem. And that's where the unlearning begins.
This channel exists for one reason: to help you see the patterns you've been living inside of without knowing it. And if today's video opens something up, the next one goes even deeper into why you keep choosing the wrong people and what that choice is really trying to protect you from. Subscribe if you want to keep unlearning. I'll meet you in the next one.